At Howard, who played with Wasp for many years. He's playing drums, played with Lita Ford, and a young guitar player out in Canada called Sean Kelly. He's a classical player who absolutely lives for metal. He's a very young guy, he's in his 30s.
He's a great player.
Great and amazing. I mean, again, he can play classical. He has a record deal, classical record deal, but he can shred with the best of them. And his passion for the type of music that we're going to play, which is kind of the Frehley's Comet-ish, heavier stuff, is second to none. He absolutely loves playing this music, and you'll be blown away by him. He plays with Nelly Furtado also, so he's kind of a renaissance man as far as guitar.
Yeah, he's very diverse. He can do anything. And we did a 3-day rehearsal just about a month ago. Our first rehearsals for 4x8. He came in and he finally got to hear us live. And he goes, oh, okay, I know how this works. So he kind of changed everything up, and all of a sudden he had because John and I have a certain heavy feel when we play. And
you just call me fat, as I am.
No, not as far as you know. But no, so he morphed into it really quickly, and we can't wait to play again together. Because we only got to play 3 days, and then we all went our separate ways to do other things. So it's soon, about 3 weeks, where we have our very first official gigs in New York.
So how about these amazing musicians we're playing with tonight? These guys, this band you're going to hear tonight is about 2 hours old, and I have to tell you, these gentlemen rose to the occasion and learned this stuff spot on.
We got Miko on drums and Kasu on guitar.
There they are.
And he's wearing kind of the same hat as I am, and I didn't know he had that hat. I'm just a disclaimer here. I brought this for this show, and here in his youth, he's already way ahead of me. He's got the hat, so we'll be twins sort of tonight.
Yeah, but we're honored to be sharing the stage with those two guys because they
really did a good job.
Incredible. So thank you both.
Thanks, guys.
So right now, today we only have 4x8 guitar picks and t-shirts for sale.
The first 4x8 t-shirts ever printed.
Yeah, these are the first ones. I made, I think, 4 at home, and people are trying to buy them from me, and I can't sell them because, but they made them up today, and hopefully maybe we can buy some. But we've got also, I think, some old stock picks over here as well from Frehley's Comet that I didn't even know existed.
Yeah, we got, my wife ran the Rock Soldiers fan club, and when I left the band in 1990, we had some stock left, and that's the end of the end right there. That was stored in a closet since 1990. Pictures are from 1987, the pictures are from 1987. So if you want something that I guarantee you will be collectible, because that's the end of it.
I don't even have.
They're over there, and they're €5 each, and you'll really enjoy having it because they're very rare right now.
Yeah, in fact, I've got to buy some of my own picks because I don't have any.
The €10 for you to you pay double.
So 4x8 has a great set list with a lot of older classics of the Ace Frehley band, Frehley's Comet, of course. But is there going to be any new music by 4x8 anytime soon, or you guys have plans to record a new CD?
We've got one song we're doing right now. It's brand new. It was written by a friend of John's, and it's actually Pat Gasparini. He's writing more material, and John's co-writing with him, and I'll be co-writing with him as well. That's the first new song that 4x8 has. I'm presently writing up a Storm at Home. John's going to be co-writing, and Sean is writing and co-writing. So the machine is moving right now, so we'll hopefully have at least maybe six songs recorded in the next few months, I'm hoping.
But we're not going to rush it. We're going to have a lot of people are interested, a lot of people want to hear new stuff, and I understand that, but it will come out when it's absolutely spot on. It won't take as long as it took from Trouble Walking to Anomaly, which was, I think, 1990 to 2008. It won't take that long, I promise you, because I may not be alive that long. But we have new stuff coming out soon, and actually I want to re-record It's Over Now, because that song, which Todd can tell you about where it came from, but the first time I heard it, I absolutely loved it. It's a heavy ballad. I really want to re-record it. I think it's a wonderful piece of music. And you wrote it for...
Thank you, John. Yeah, John's responsible for that song being on the second album. I wrote that song in 1986 for Cheap Trick to do. I was playing with Cheap Trick, and I wrote it in Rockford, Illinois, on Rick Nielsen's upright piano in his condo that he built for his parents. Anyway, I wrote the song and I gave it to them. And here's the tune, and they listened to it and went, "Oh, wow, that's pretty good." And that was it. They didn't record it, and even the manager said, "Are they going to record the song?" I said, "Well, I don't know. They didn't tell me anything." They never recorded it. Shortly thereafter, I left Cheap Trick, and when we got in doing the record, the first record with Frehley's Comet, I just happened to show it to Johnny. I was playing at the grand piano in the right track upstairs. And that's when John heard it and said, "Holy shit, yeah, we should do that, but let's save that for the second album." And so that's what we did. The reason that 4x8 will probably end up recording it is I think that we didn't get enough mileage with the song as it was released as a third single off of Second Sighting. And for some reason, it just didn't have enough promotion behind it. So maybe we'll do it again, see what happens.
And I know I never had an issue with doing a remake, and this is a remake of our own song. So, you know, if you look back at the Frehley's records and the Frehley's Comet records, we did Do You, which was a Jeff Lynne, ELO, Electric Light Orchestra song. We did Hide Your Heart, which I had recorded with Bonnie Tyler a few months before we recorded the Trouble Walking record. I had no idea that Paul Stanley had anything to do with that. So we recorded it, Kiss recorded it, and another band, Molly Hatchet. Thank you, God bless you. Molly Hatchet, give that man a fish. Molly Hatchet. And a round of applause. There we go, that's better than a fish.
Danny Joe Brown?
That's him.
Danny Joe Brown?
That's it. So that song actually came out in 3 different versions in the same year. So the writers, which were Paul Stanley and I think it might have been Holly Knight. You know who co-wrote that song? You see, you're one for 2. The next, you gotta bet this next question right or you're out of here. So that was a great song. You know, we'll do It's Over Now because I think it needs to be heard more than it was, I guess Todd said.
Hopefully.
John, you told me a great story about once when Ace's smoking guitar wasn't working properly.
Yeah.
I believe you guys were opening up for Alice Cooper. Can you tell us that story?
We were opening for Alice Cooper, and Ace got a new guitar technician who decided to actually do some work and come in and clean all of his effects guitars. You know, the light guitar for New York Root, the smoking guitar for Shock Me, and in cleaning it, he somehow deactivated the system in the guitar that Ace presses a button and the smoke bomb goes off that on occasion he would overload. And this night he overloaded it, but it didn't go off on stage. So, of course, that's like the highlight of the show, the guitar explodes. You guys know the whole routine. So he's pretty annoyed at that point. So we're back in the dressing room. The dressing room is right behind the stage. Now the stage had side entrances out into the arena. The lights were on because they were doing a set change for Alice Cooper. So Ace, sitting there with the guitar in his lap, cursing and kicking things, and all of a sudden you hear it's like, and the guitar just explodes. Well, he can't breathe. You got to picture that. He starts walking out of the dressing room, is basically trying to get away from the smoke. Rather than just put the guitar down and walk away, he's got the guitar and he stumbles out into the crowd. Who at that point, I think gave him a standing ovation because they got to see the smoking guitar, even though it wasn't plugged into anything. And then somebody went and got him and said, "Ace, you're in the middle of the arena, get back on stage." If you could picture that, it was a pretty funny evening. Amongst other nights, one night he actually used to wear this sterling silver bracelet, and the light guitar has to be charged up. There's serious batteries in it, and they hold a very strong charge. And in the process of getting it ready, he had it on his lap, and the bracelet hit the connector to the guitar, and it literally discharged all of that power into his wrist. And I think he had like 2nd-degree burns on his arm. Yeah, it was pretty scary. To get to his credit, he did the show, but it was a little touch and go for a while. But he's a trooper.
Wow. Okay, we're gonna slowly wrap it up. Let's see if there's maybe 1 or 2 or maybe even 3. If they're really good questions from the crowd. If anybody has a good question, now's your time. Anybody have any questions? You.
My hair. I stood next to Ace too long. I can't hear anymore. Sorry. I did. The question was, if I played on the Rolling Stones album. And indeed, I had the honor and privilege of working on that record after I had met Mick Jagger and working on his contribution with David Bowie to Live Aid, Dancing in the Streets. I played bass on that, and that's how I met Mick, and he invited me to play on Dirty Work, and the track that I'm on is called Winnie Ugly. And it was, as you can imagine, an absolute life changer for me and one of the musical highlights of my life. So I was honored to be asked. It's nice to be part of that little club.
All right, anybody else? Is there anybody? Questions from the crowd? Otherwise, I'll have one or two quick ones to round this up. I've always wondered.
We got one.
Oh, he's got one? All right.
The question or statement was that in a lot of the books, Ace has been described as he's been described unflatteringly in the books, and